let's get this party started here. So I'm gonna ask Ricky, do you have a favorite actor and why?
Yes. Robert De Niro,
Robert De Niro.
one of my all-time favorite actors. He's starred in so many great films as A Bronx Tale, The Godfather. He's also starred in Raging Bull. Even in comedy-wise, he was it The Fockers?
Meet the Fockers.
Yeah, that type of stuff. He's pretty good all across the board there.
Yeah.
Good drama, good comedy,
Drama.
action even.
Has he ever done horror?
I don't think so.
I don't think he's ever done horror.
I can't imagine him doing horror either.
Hey, Bobby, you should look into horror. You probably have already done it. We just don't know about it.
I'm surprised I don't know.
Action, comedy, drama. Can he sing?
No. Can you imagine him? Whoa, Ray. Whoa.
I think my all-time favorite film with Robert De Niro was Taxi Driver.
Oh wow, yeah.
Taxi Driver. Yeah,
That's a good choice right there.
the first time I saw that one, I watched it with headphones on. Which, if you've never watched a movie with headphones on, you should try it because it's a whole nother whole nother world. But yeah, he was fantastic in that film. Yeah, Robert De Niro. Well, my favorite actor, I had to think about this. I got a couple, but if really all around, just this guy is incredible. Daniel Day-Lewis. Huge fan of DDL. I don't know if he calls himself that. First time I saw him was Last of the Mohicans, and then all these other films. I think my favorite from him has got to be There Will Be Blood, with his role with Paul Thomas Anderson as the director. He was really great in that one, and then maybe a close second, Gangs of New York. It just seems like he can take almost any role and just becomes that person, and you believe that Daniel Day-Lewis is that person.
Does he do method acting or?
Yeah, apparently he's a method actor.
Okay.
So
That's a different type of acting right there.
on the set, he is that character.
Okay.
I don't know how that worked with Abraham Lincoln, but because he did Lincoln, and
I remember that.
pretty damn good Lincoln. But yeah, I gotta go with Daniel Day-Lewis.
All right. That's our favorite actors right there. What about who's your favorite director though?
Favorite director? I'm a huge fan of Stanley Kubrick. A little more old school. I know he started out in I think his first films were in the 50s.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And then he did films all the way up until the early, I think the last one was Eyes Wide Shut, which was 2000 or 99.
Oh, wow.
Can't remember. I'm sorry, fans of Kubrick. I don't know the dates by heart, but I'm a huge fan of Stanley Kubrick. Just love a lot of his films. I love his technique, his style, the way he uses his camera, the way he integrates music. And one of the cool things with him that I like is usually he doesn't always hire a composer for his films. He picks music that is already composed by classical composer or whoever, depending on the film. But that adds a whole nother layer of just sonic texture that I love about him.
And that is something I have noticed when hanging out with you. You know, you kind of pointed that out to me. A couple of songs that he's used in films like The Shining.
Yeah, he used a lot of things composed by Bela Bartok, this Hungarian composer. But and I was like, wow, this music is phenomenal. I can't believe how good it works for the film.
Yeah.
But it almost seems like he set his visuals to match the music. So it's an interesting. If he did that, that's an interesting way to work.
Oh yeah. Well,
What about you, Ricky?
my favorite director is John Hughes.
Ooh, John Hughes.
He had a lot of classic 80s and even early 90s movies, you know, but I liked more of the Brat Pack type stuff because I grew up watching that from my mom, you know, and so
Yeah.
I like The Breakfast Club is obviously one of my favorites. Ferris Bueller's Day Off is also another. It's an interesting fact about that. You know, the school in Ferris Bueller's Day Off is the same school they used in The Breakfast Club.
Yeah, and I think they actually used it for Home Alone as well.
Really?
There's a Netflix special called The Movies That Made Us. I highly recommend it. They talk about a lot of films and how they're made, but they of course external sets for Home Alone was a house in Illinois, but the internal sets were actually in the gymnasium of that school.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, I had no idea about that.
But yeah, Breakfast Club, freaking stroke of genius.
Oh yeah, it's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Now, I don't know if you guys think of film like this, but I do. When I think of John Hughes, I'm like, budget.
Oh yeah.
Think about Breakfast Club. The whole movie takes place at a high school. They're wearing the same wardrobe throughout the entire film. And there's only, what, I don't know, maybe 20 actors at most or something like that. It's like, wow. But it's still an engaging film.
Yeah. It's not like it's a set either. It's an actual gymnasium, so they didn't have to spend time building a set in some studio somewhere. That's also a budget as well right there.
Yeah.
On top of which, like I said, it's the same school in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, which could also cut into that as well.
Yeah, that guy was a genius and had a hell of a run in the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so we talked about our favorite actors, favorite directors. How about favorite film? Do you have a favorite film?
Oh, man, I've got a couple categories for that right there. One of my favorites is, as far as comedy is concerned, is Borat. That's just one of those movies where literally every few minutes I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, who thinks to do that?
That was life-changing.
Oh, yeah.
That was a life-changing film.
I've actually watched it recently because I have it on DVD. I haven't seen it in a while, but I was like, it was almost like it was new to me in a way, but I was almost every 5 minutes, what the fuck is this?
Was it like 2008?
Somewhere around there, yeah.
Yeah.
I saw it in theaters. That and Bruno, which that was something. That was a unique experience.
I'm a huge fan of Sacha Baron Cohen.
Oh yeah.
Sasha, thank you for everything that you've done.
G.
You have made the world a better place.
Oh yeah, a little bit more of a tolerable place. What's interesting about though, I'm gonna paraphrase here, but he was saying that he created the Ali G character, more like a comedy of this is what our generation is headed toward. People like him.
It's just the fact that he was able to get interviews with like all these prestigious people.
I think it's funny the interview he did with Trump, where Trump actually walked out because he had the idea for the ice cream glove.
I don't know how Sasha can do that stuff. Like, because if I tried to do that, I would be cracking up
with
the
a straight face
whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Borat, that's a hell of a pick. That's a hell of a pick. So that's Ricky's comedy pick. What about drama?
Oh, hands down, A Bronx Tale. Number one, some reason I can kind of relate to the main character Sonny in there, like his views on things, or I could at that time, but I've always had an infatuation with that type of movie or that type of, that what's it, Italian gangster type movie. Yeah. Even like something like Scarface, I can, but not so much as like A Bronx Tale or Godfather or Goodfellas or anything like that, But just hands down, I could put on A Bronx Tale and just watch it all day.
When did you first see A Bronx Tale?
Probably about 10 years ago.
10 years ago.
I went out of my way to find the DVD of it. I actually went from store to store to find it where they actually had a copy of it.
Yeah.
And I was living in like an hour away, so I'll drive like an hour to get to yeah.
This man was motivated to watch A Bronx Tale.
Oh yeah. You gotta understand, I was living in a small town though. There was nothing to do. If you want to do something, you go to Walmart at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Back in the Granbury days.
Oh yeah.
Granbury, Texas. For those that do not know what that is, it is roughly a square where Town Hall is, and that's about it.
Yeah. And literally, I would be bored. I'm going to go to Walmart. That's what I would do for entertainment.
Yeah.
That's desperation right there.
Yeah, first time I ever saw A Bronx Tale, it was in my formative years when I was in middle school. So I was probably anywhere from 11 to 12, 10, 11, 12, something like that. It was a very influential film for me as well.
Oh, yeah.
At that time. It was very well done. I'm a fan of that one for sure.
It's interesting because the guy that plays Sonny, A Bronx Tale is supposedly like a true story. The Sonny is actually the guy that the kids actually like the kid Colosimo.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be the guy Sonny. Apparently he saw stuff like this in real life.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't doubt it. Yeah. Yeah, it's a great film. Now, for me, I got to break this down into a couple categories as well. So, for me, for comedy, I'm a huge fan of Rushmore. But even more so, a big fan of the director Wes Anderson. It's a toss-up for me as to which one I like more, Stanley Kubrick or Wes Anderson, because I'm more of a comedy person overall. But Stanley Kubrick, he wins out. But anyways, my favorite comedy film, Rushmore, because that was another one that I saw in my formative years, and I know us as people, we tend to lean towards things that we came across in our teens or early 20s. It's very impactful upon us as individuals. So Rushmore introduced me to Wes Anderson, introduced me to that style of comedy that I've never seen before. So that's why I got to go with that. Kind of dry humor. Jason Schwartzman is fantastic in it.
Isn't that?
Yeah, that's.
I've never actually seen the movie, but I know who he is.
It's one of his. I think it might have been one of his first films or his first leading role for sure. I don't know, but now for me, drama. This is debatable whether it's drama or horror. I would say it's more drama because it's not really that scary from a typical horror film standpoint. But favorite drama is The Shining from Stanley Kubrick. So
it's a good choice right there.
I think I might have weirded some people out in my younger days, because there was literally a stretch of time. This girl that I was dating at the time, every night before I'd go to bed, I would turn on The Shining.
I think I remember you telling me about this.
And God knows what was going through her head.
Wait, she was around you when you did this?
Yeah. So she'd be trying to go to sleep, and I'd turn on The Shining. Because I was studying it. I was studying the film. I wouldn't be able to watch the whole thing. I'd fall asleep on it eventually, just because I was exhausted. But so I'd like watch the first 15, 20 minutes or whatever. But I'd really watch the camera movements, the techniques, the acting dialogues, the cutaways, how he integrates the music, the lighting, everything. I was really dissecting that film because it is, I think, it's a masterpiece.
Yeah.
Sorry, Stephen King, but the film is better than the book, and yes, I have read the book.
It's even more interesting that Stephen King tried to do a movie of it in the was it mid-90s? It was more like a TV series.
A miniseries, which I also have that one as well. It's a little more typical of the horror genre. I think it's good, but it's nowhere near Stanley's.
Yeah, I remember I saw that too when I was. Even that was running through my mind. It's not as good as the original movie.
Kind of campy, kind of corny, but I mean, if you see any of Stephen King's films that he makes or is a part of, it's kind of part of his thing. It's kind of campy, kind of corny. I love you, Stephen. I love all of your work, your books, your films, but I like Stanley's version of your story better.
All right, we mentioned all these categories: favorite actor, favorite director, favorite film. Let's check out worst film.
Worst film.
This first one is a movie that I had to walk out on because it just pissed me off. And it's called Scary Movie. And I do not mean, and I have no apologies for this. If you like this movie, you like some stupid shit. This is one of the dumbest movies. The whole genre, scary movie, date movie, all that just pissed me off because it was so stupid.
The satire.
How do you get into this stupid shit? You know?
Well, I mean, I actually like Scary Movie, but you gotta have that sense of humor. What was it? There's a dude that used to make a bunch of those types of films, but yeah, they're stupid. You know that you're not going to get much of anything out of it. And in essence, there's not a whole lot of creativity with them. They're just taking things that have been done before and spoofing it.
That's what it's almost, I don't even know how to describe how stupid it is. It's just, you're getting money for basically nothing. You're paying to see this shit? Seriously?
So all of the Scary Movies, have you only seen one of them?
I've seen a few of them. Every single one of them pissed me off.
So that's a good thing. You know, you're giving them a chance.
I did give it a chance, but I kind of went to the second one, And I was pretty much went in there with the same mentality that I had when I left the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a stupid shit. Because I didn't even want to watch the second one. I was more like, I was at our cousin's house.
Oh, okay.
And they had it on TV, and I was just sitting there like...
You by association, you had to watch it.
Yeah.
Yes. For some reason, Scary Movie 2 reminds me of like an adult version of Scooby-Doo.
Oh, wow.
That's what it kind of reminds me of. Of course.
Dumbass humor, man. Seriously.
Hey, Scooby-Doo had me on tenterhooks when I was a kid. You know, I was like, oh.
Yeah, but you're a kid, though. This adults watching this shit.
Wait a minute, the mailman did it? Holy crap, it wasn't the mailman. It was Sally Jenkins dressed up as the mailman.
As I was saying, though, you're a kid, though. You're getting the Scooby-Doo. I like Scooby-Doo when I was a kid, but adults like this stupid shit. Like, really? It's comedy for dumbasses. I can't get into it. I will get actually really pissed off to watch that.
Well,
it's one of the few movies that I can actually say I feel like somebody's talking about my mama or something. You know, it just straight up pissed me off.
Wow. Well, I guess if you want to get on Ricky's bad side, just make him watch Scary Movie.
Yeah, put on some Barry Manilow or something. That'll piss me off too.
Well,
anything from Barry Manilow.
For me, there's only been one film that I've walked out on in my life. I actually bought tickets to go see this in the movie theater, and it was so bad I walked out on it. Nicolas Cage, Left Behind. I watched the trailer before I went to watch the film, and I was like, okay, cool. Maybe this will be like a thriller, apocalyptic kind of thing, whatever. Yeah, but it was so stupid. I literally I was with one of my girlfriends at the time, and I was like, you want to leave? And thankfully she was of like mind, so that would suck if she was like, oh, this is great, let's stay.
That whole series is lame as hell.
I didn't know it was a series, but man, it's horrible.
Yeah, I've been forced to sit in and watch that shit too.
It seems from the directing, how the film was shot, how they executed the acting, it almost seems like something that was made for TV.
It looks cheap.
That somebody, I don't know how they got it in the movie theater, but
Nick Cage was in it.
Yeah, I mean,
I was surprised to see him in that.
I don't. Maybe he needed some extra money at the time. I don't know.
I'm not doing anything. Why not?
Yeah. But yeah, I literally walked out on that film, and that's the only time I've ever done that in my whole life.
I can't say I blame you for that at all. I've had to sit in on that before.
How about a favorite film franchise? Do you have a favorite franchise?
Oh, hands down, The Godfather.
Ooh,
hands down.
that's a good one, The Godfather.
Those are classics to me. Like I said earlier, for some reason I always had an infatuation with like the Italian gangster mobster type stuff since I was a kid. I don't know if I get that from our grandpa because he was into that stuff. I remember I would watch him watch that stuff, and I just thought it was so cool, you know.
Are you Italian at all?
No.
Neither am I.
I get mistaken for being Italian all the damn time, but I'm not.
Yeah, same here. So for all of you that are watching, we're not Italian.
No.
My last name is Vasquez.
My last name is Herring.
Yes. I'm not Italian.
Not at all. I get that, or I get Spaniard all the time too.
I've only gotten Spaniard one time, but
well, it's because I tell people my mom speaks Spanish. My mom's, oh, are you Spain?
yeah,
No.
yeah, because we look so Mexican, right?
I mean, if you break it down, though, a Mexican is like a Spaniard mixed with like an Aztec or a Mayan or something, you know.
Yeah.
But still, at this point, you know.
So Godfather.
The Godfather series, yes.
One or two or three, which one?
All of them.
All of them. I'm a fan of those as well.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah. My wife is actually a huge fan of them as well.
Really?
Yeah, she's a big fan of Godfather.
I've always liked that type of stuff. You know, Bronx Tale, Starface even, Godfather, The Goodfellas, all that type of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, Francis Ford Coppola directed The Godfather, which he's one of my favorite directors as well.
I like that type of stuff. I mean, I even have books at home on like the Al Capone and the Irishman, you know, all that type of it's just interesting to me.
Yeah.
It's crazy the stuff that they would do, but it's cool though.
Yeah, it's truly like an American thing. I mean, of course, there's gangs and violence and whatnot in other countries, but it seems like that whole mobster thing is 100% American.
Oh yeah. I mean, you got stuff like the Russian mob, which is not the same, but
Yeah, but I still, I mean, I could be completely wrong about this, but I feel like that stuff generated based off of American culture. Like, I'm sure there have been gangs around. I mean, since the ancient times, the
Yeah.
ancient Greeks and the Romans, and God knows what their gangs were about.
it's that pack mentality.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, Godfather. That's a great choice for the franchise. For me, this might be kind of more on the corny side, but I gotta go Star Wars. Ever since I was a kid, huge fan. I only wish I got to watch Star Wars as an adult as opposed to watching it as a kid, because when you watch it as a kid, you don't understand all the concepts.
Oh, yeah.
And you're just like looking at it like, oh wow, the lights and whatnot. You don't really get the psychological thing behind the story. But so that kind of sucks. But you know, these newer films that they've come out with are really fantastic.
I was about to ask about that.
I like it a lot. I mean, of course, the ones they came out with in the 90s and the early, or the late, I think it was 99 and then early 2000s. Nah, those were not very good. I mean, I'll still watch them, but they're not my favorite. The ones that they're doing now, the camera techniques, how they're filming it, is more up to par with what is going on.
Didn't Disney buy the Star Wars franchise?
They did, and they have some things on there, like the Mandalorian's on there, which is freaking fantastic.
That's almost like when Disney acquired the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy series. They released a movie that I did not watch. I've seen bits of it. You know, I love the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I'm a big Douglas Adams fan. You know, I've got all the books, the Hitchhiker series. I've got the DVD, the original series. But when I found out that Disney bought that series, I kind of lost interest.
Yeah, I mean, I think this might speak to the difference of opinion. I mean, I think Disney, for all of its faults, I think the essence of what Disney was trying to do in the early days was commendable. It's become something different over time. But yeah, I was a little worried about that too when I heard that Star Wars is being bought by Disney. But,
Yeah.
But it's still really good stuff. It's really, I think, artistically done. Really done in good taste, the films.
So, you know, I genuinely tried to get into the Star Wars series. I remember I would rent, when Blockbuster was around. Anybody remember that? I would rent those movies and I would sit there and watch them. I'd watch them over and over and over. You know, my mom and my dad would even give me toys like the Millennium Falcon. That thing was awesome.
Oh yeah.
I used to have that thing. I used to have the little other play sets, you know, like C-3PO.
Heck yeah.
Or
I had those too.
but
The Micro Machines.
yeah. Oh yeah. But I couldn't get into it. I don't know what it was. I guess I got bored with it or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. But
Everybody has their thing.
yeah.
And maybe you couldn't get into it because there wasn't enough mobster type stuff in it. I mean, there's gangsters in there. You know, Jabba the Hutt's a gangster, but he's mostly like a giant slug that is just gross.
Motherfucker.
Well, just wanted to talk to you guys about some of our favorite things in the more movie industry, actors, films, franchises, so on and so forth. And thank you for taking some time to sit and review.
Get to know us a little bit.
Get to know us a little bit. Who is Josh and Ricky from the Primer? I don't know.
I don't even know myself.
Me either.